I see India more these days. India will take a strange decision in the future. India will take a terrible decision in the near future. There's a possibility that a ship will sink in the sea surrounding India, in the coming days. There's a possibility that a ship will sink in the sea surrounding India in the coming days. In Iran, I said about 12 days. So 12 days is not 12 days from today. 12 days since the day I said. I don't remember the day I said. It wasn't long ago. I said a few days ago. I think it's 4 or 5 days. From there, if this war ends by the 12th day, we will all be lucky. But on the 17th day, if it goes until the 17th day somehow, on the 17th day, the world will hear and see some dangerous incident. The world will hear some bad news. So on the 17th day, we have to pay attention to it. If we don't finish the 12th day, on the 17th day, the world will hear about a dangerous incident. A flight crash may occur in Jordan. A flight crash may occur in Jordan. There's a possibility that a flight may crash in Jordan. For Jordan, I think this will happen in Jordan. There's a possibility that this will fall in Jordan on the border between Jordan, Syria and Iran. There are also countries called Syria and Iran. But there's a possibility that a flight may crash. I think this will happen. Saudi Arabia, there's a possibility that 2 more explosions may occur in Saudi Arabia. Is this Saudi Arabia or the UAE? Not in the UAE, but in Saudi Arabia. I think there's a possibility that there will be several explosions in Saudi Arabia where there are aerial vehicles. There are several explosions scheduled to happen in a place where there are aerial vehicles. There are several explosions scheduled to happen in Saudi Arabia where there are aerial vehicles. In the UAE, there will be explosions in a hotel. There's a huge explosion scheduled to happen in a hotel that is newly built on an island in the UAE. There's a possibility that it will be attacked. There's a possibility that one going somewhere else will hit a tall building in the UAE. One going somewhere else will hit a tall building in the UAE. There's a possibility that one will hit. A parachute team will land in Iran. A parachute team will land in Iran in the coming days. There's a possibility that a parachute team will land in Iran in the near future. A parachute team is scheduled to land in Iran in the coming days. They have some small wires in their hands. It is the beginning of a big disaster in the future. There is an experiment scheduled to be done in China. A Russian plane will crash. I think this must be a fighter plane. It must be a fighter plane. This is in Russia. A plane will crash. It must be a fighter plane. A low pressure area will form over the Bay of Bengal. It will keep on spinning continuously. A depression. A severe depression will form over the Bay of Bengal in the coming days. After 6 to 7 days, before 1.5 weeks, this depression will form. There's a possibility of some damage to Sri Lanka and Chennai due to rain. This is very likely to happen after the match. An earthquake is scheduled to occur near Sumatra. An earthquake is scheduled to occur near the island of Sumatra. A pyramid will collapse in Egypt. I don't know if it's a world famous pyramid or a statue. Something going to Saudi will crash into Bahrain. Something going to Saudi will crash into a building in Bahrain. Something going to Saudi will crash into a building in Bahrain. There's a planned attack on a place where planes are in Qatar. There's a possibility of an attack on a place where planes are in Qatar. There's a possibility of an attack on a place where planes are in Qatar. An oil tanker is planned to be blown up next week. Not next week, the week starting today. An oil tanker is planned to be blown up. An oil tanker will be attacked. Even though it is mostly said that Iran will attack, someone else will attack. There's a possibility that someone else will attack instead of Iran. There's a suicide attack planned on a place where school children are there. There's a suicide attack planned on a place where school children are there. I'm not saying the place. I'm not saying the place. The reason is because there is a chance of changing the place if the name is revealed. So it's okay to change the location. People say it's not good to attack there. No, they are good at defending themselves when they attack there. But if they attack somewhere else, they may not be able to defend themselves that way. So there is more room for them to defend themselves there. So there's a suicide attack planned on a place where school children are there. A suicide attack is planned to be carried out on a place where school children are there. A head of state is targeted in a sniper attack. A head of state is targeted in a sniper attack. A head of state is likely to be targeted in a sniper attack. Poland is a country to be careful of. A special event is scheduled to happen in Poland. The whole country is a little cautious. Germany is scheduled to expect a special event. As the whole country is talking about, a special event is scheduled to happen in Germany. USA. Three embassies are scheduled to explode. In the USA, I don't know whether it is the USA or out of the USA. Even if I know, I won't say. 3 USA embassies are scheduled to blow up. 3 USA embassies are scheduled to blow up. Japan needs to prepare for an earthquake. The earth is scheduled to shake. The earth in Japan is scheduled to shake. North Korea is scheduled to strike near Japan. Near Japan. This is going to hit either Japan or South Korea. North Korea is most likely going to hit near Japan. I don't know if it will hit South Korea. North Korea is going to strike anyway. Unless it accidentally lands in the country, it will hit the sea. There's a possibility that it will hit the country by mistake. North Korea is scheduled to launch a missile attack. North Korea is scheduled to conduct a missile test. One test has already been conducted now. This is not about that. This is about the missile test that is being conducted now. This is the latest one. This can be fired very far. It also carries a toxic chemical. That missile can be seen as a bomb with toxic chemicals. So rather than it exploding, there is a possibility that a missile could be tested in a way that could kill people in that area with toxic chemicals. There's a possibility that a problem could occur involving the oil wells in Kuwait. There's a possibility that some problem could occur involving the oil wells in Kuwait. There's a possibility that some oil wells in Kuwait could be closed. There's a possibility that an explosion could occur in an oil well in Kuwait. Theft is increasing in Italy. While waiting, there is a possibility of being exposed to serious threats from thieves and enemies. There's a possibility of a Sri Lankan being murdered in Italy. There's a possibility that someone from Sri Lanka could be murdered in Italy in the coming days. Canada is likely to be very cold this time. Be prepared for that. There's a possibility of severe cold. A cold storm is expected. Also, Iran, Saudi Arabia and the United States are expected to shake. So you have to be careful about those shakings. These countries are likely to face several severe earthquakes. The biggest problem for New Zealand is fire. New Zealand is likely to face severe fire.